Hi, this is Katie Shell, and this is Being Lilith. This video is going to be about dealing with our Lilith issues. I guess every single video I do is about dealing with my Lilith issues. This one has been prompted by some work I've been doing lately. Some triggers I activate. My Lilith got pushed again. The irrationality of a Lilith person, of that energy of just not knowing what to do and just breaking, saying enough, literally. I believe the words I used started this conversation with this friend was I can't, because I couldn't anymore. I mean, I can and I will and whatever, and that's fine, but, or it's not, I don't know. I'm still working all that stuff out, but I have to take responsibility for my Lilith because she showed up inappropriately and hurt somebody, um, that I care about. But interestingly, from a astrological perspective, I know this person's chart very well, and I know that in their chart it has Lilith people being a problem for them, um, throughout their lifetimes, and including this one. And I know that's true. And I had wondered if my prominent Lilith would show up. I kind of, I put rose tinted glasses on things a lot, because I want to see the best, and I kind of live in an alternate universe most times. And this person kind of, um, a joke comes from doesn't even exist in this planet, which was probably part of my problem. But it's, I was wondering if this would show up, and it did. And it felt terrible. Um, because she didn't deserve it. I mean, nobody deserves to be treated poorly, ever. And, but we do sometimes. We hurt people, and we hurt people we care about. Um, but we can't use that as reason to suppress our emotions, to suppress our thoughts, to suppress our feelings. We have to ride them out, and we have to experience them, and we have to do the work that they show us to do. And in my case, it's that pushing and feeling. It's the recovering people pleaser. I'm part of the Libra Pluto generation, and we are all people pleasers. And so we want to do, and I'm a Virgo, and I want to do things for people. I want to take care of people. And so I don't say the things I need to say sometimes. Um, it's not, it may feel manipulative sometimes, and sometimes it is. And I have to own that too. That I have to own that sometimes that, oh, I'm just doing it for you martyr thing shows up. Um, and as a physical reaction, as a emotional reaction, and that none of that is healthy for anybody. But sometimes the parts that are unhealthy come up so that they can be examined and understood and seen and witnessed, and then fixed. This is the Virgo talking again. And then doing the work that we need to do, because as Lilith, this is, being Lilith, it's about embracing our Lilithness, but it's also about being responsible with it and knowing that if we allow ourselves to suppress ourselves, to quiet ourselves, to edit ourselves, to make that, eventually we still need to be heard, and we still need to be seen, and we still need to let our sometimes irrational thoughts and behaviors be allowed, um, and be awkward and be vulnerable with another person. Because the alternative is we hold it back and then it comes out and it's an outburst. And it, again, can hurt somebody, and it can break trust, and it can break um, things that maybe you've worked for a long time to build up, and in an instant it's gone. And you forgive yourself. So part of this is about self-forgiveness and forgiving yourself for being human and not dwelling in a single mistake. But it's also recognizing that this probably is indicative of a pattern, and that there are wounds that need to be seen and heard, and inner children and other lifetimes, and all of the things that I do the work with myself and my students and my clients, that we have to address in order to become more present and more fully us. And so that's where I am kind of right now with this, is taking a deep breath. And it's taken me, it happened about, I don't know, 11, 12 days ago. And then I had a whole string of Thanksgiving family um, drama happening, and seeing the Lilith patterns, my own conditioning, and not blaming the people, not saying, oh, you made me this way, so. And then getting mad at them, which is just as bad. It isn't any better. Or being the victim, blaming them for this environment. I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful for the strong women that surround me and have shaped me. But I also know that as we grow and we learn and we experience, we do better when we learn, um, to be better at ourselves, being more complete and being more present. So we are aware of these things as they're happening, and we take the time we need to do what we need for ourselves in order to feel safe, in order to feel sovereign, and not worrying if every single thing we do is rational, and not necessarily have, I mean, that comes later. I always, one of the things that I teach my students a lot and talk to them a lot, especially when we're working with Lilith issues or Mars issues or Aries, anything that has to do with instincts, is you let, um, sometimes you have to follow your instincts, and then you rational, and then you let yourself figure it out. And one of the things that I was getting into in this relationship was I was kind of letting things flow and move, and not, and trying to figure things out, trying to sort things out in my head. And I am a person who can go pretty weird in my head. And so, or all sorts of places that aren't necessarily true, and I own that. But my instincts were saying that something needed to shift, something needed to change, but I wasn't acting on it. And then my body, my something exploded, something burst and set and made me, nothing can make you, but something burst and kind of forced the situation. I could have, if I had said what I needed to say, or done what I needed to done sooner, I would have probably avoided this. And there's reasons for we co-create things and blah 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 and things, and again, no blame, shame, or guilt here, is it becomes so critical to the Lilith learning process, um, because we act out of shame, we act out of guilt, and then it compounds itself rather than healing itself. And we can't, for me, that allowing myself to be okay with my instinctual self needing to take space. I need space. Part of the thing that had been coming up for me was I was my my time and my space, ironically, um, felt like it was being pulled in so many different directions. Even though I'm not going to get it. Yeah, I'm not going to get into too many of the details of the particular situations, but it wasn't like it wasn't somebody I was spending physically a lot of time with. That was kind of one of the issues in a way. And because I was waiting to be able to speak in person about some of these things, I was kind of like letting things coast. But it was still taking up all of this time and energy of mine, and it just broke. Um, like this floodgate just broke, and it's again, I'm having to, and it forced me to deal with the issues that I've been neglecting, and reminding myself that I need to take the time and space and energy that I need for myself every single day, and not be pulled into other people's stuff no matter how much I want to. Like that is as much part of it. Like we love people, the people that we love, we want to be around them, we want to spend time with them, we want to enjoy their presence and our connection with each other. And so we make ourselves available in ways that start to snowball and start to become unhealthy for us. And that was something that I was witnessing during the whole Thanksgiving week. Was I wanted to be with people, I wanted to see them, but I know, but it started being feeling obligatory, and I wasn't getting the downtime I needed, and I wasn't getting the space I needed. And I was seeing how that was not just for that was creating I don't want to. Toxic is very strong of a word, but that kind of like it was leaking this sludge, um, and creating situations that didn't necessarily have to be as difficult as they were, because everybody, it was like you're gonna have fun. Like it's not, we're all adjusting and we're all learning and we're all experiencing. So I always want to come back to that. There is no wrong way to be, but we have to learn from our mistakes. We have to evolve and we have to grow. And if we stay stagnant, if we don't witness and the problems, the issues, then we don't actually grow from them, and we're not learning and we're not experiencing and we're not learning how to experience. We're just reacting. And instinctual, being truly true to our instincts, isn't necessarily about reaction to something. Um, it's almost like the reaction comes up later as a result, as a kind of a amplified result of not following your instincts and moving with the things that we need the most and trusting those things, because we get stuck in the old patterns that we've always, that we grew up with. And again, not blaming, shaming, or guilting the other people and environments. We're all learning. We are all imperfect humans, and we are all doing the best we can. And I never ever ever want to suggest that somebody isn't. But we're all in different places in that, and that's fine. Um, yeah, there's things I could say about that, but I think I'm gonna keep those off the table, because I want to be encouraging, to do your work and to trust when you need space, to take the space, even if it's no matter how much this person brings out the joy in you. You have to be okay to take the space and the time and the energy you need, and settle and let those adjustments be made. Otherwise you can end up in places where they don't even make any sense from an outside perspective or even an inside perspective. When you take a much bigger look at it, you can start putting the pieces together, but it doesn't make any sense. So the whole point of this video again is to just forgive yourself for when you fuck up, but own it and do the work and trust yourself and give yourself the sovereignty, trust your instincts, trust your body, and trust all the things that you need for yourself, and and speak up for them and be advocate for them when you need to. Otherwise, it blows up, and that's when the angry, ragey Lilith that people are scared of, and that my friend attracts over time and space is is becomes problematic. And we can step back and do the work and learn how to move through it instead of being stuck in it. So I hope this helps. Take care of yourself. Follow your trust yourself, trust that we're all in this together. And if we're afraid of being ourselves, then that actually ends up it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy in a way. Because if we're afraid of a certain part of us showing, we hide it, and then it shows up even stronger than it was, which as a side note is a product specifically of my Lilith being conjunct my Chiron. But this is something that happens to everybody and all should be aware of. So hope this helps. KatieShell.com for readings, things, all of the fun stuff. Have a great day.